Hello everybody, this is Melody from Eat and Wellness, and today we are going over another essential oil spotlight. We haven't done one for a couple weeks now, so we're kind of getting back into doing these again. And today we're going to be talking about oregano essential oil. And this is a great oil to have on hand. It's really useful in a lot of different areas, and so we're going to be going over the uses today, some facts about it, and also some safety as well in using this essential oil. So oregano, when you look on the back of your essential oil bottle, you're going to find the scientific name or Italian name on the back of that. And for oregano, it is Oreganum vulgare, and I'm probably saying that incorrectly, but that's the name that you're going to find on a good quality oregano essential oil. And this is one, it's a very herbaceous type of aroma. It can also be considered a hot oil for people that have sensitive skin, just like clove or even a blend of thieves can be for some people. Some of more of those like spicy or stronger type oils. So this would be an oil if you have sensitive skin that you're going to want to just test on a small area patch on skin first before using it a lot. And as well, a couple other safety things with this essential oil. It really should not be used during pregnancy. Remember, everything in essential oil bottle is very concentrated, and so it's not like using fresh herbs or even dried herbs for a seasoning. So it's going to be very, very concentrated, so you want to be careful using this oil. But avoid it during pregnancy, and then also avoid it in infants and really young children. Again, because it is a stronger oil, and also if you have sensitive skin. And then the other thing to consider with oregano essential oil is if you are using it for maybe fungal things, parasites, or some of the other things we're going to be diving into, it's best to be using it, if you're going to use it internally, and you want to make sure that you're using the proper essential oil for doing that. But if you're going to be using it for internal use, you want to use it for about 10 days and then take a week break off, and then you can use it again. So you'd kind of go back and forth, 10 days on, 1 week off, depending on the length that you're going to be using it. So yeah, that's kind of the things to just keep in mind with oregano essential oil. It's a great oil to have on hand. This has been around for thousands of years. It's been used for over 2,500 years. And if you've ever heard of Hippocrates, he actually used this oil as an antiseptic for respiratory and digestive issues. So any diseases or maybe viruses, colds and things like that, this was an oil that he used a lot for those different types of things. And when you get the oil or the bottle of oregano essential oil, it is steam distilled from the oregano leaves. So it's just coming straight from the leaves. It's very potent, and it is antibacterial, and it's also an antioxidant as well. So I'm going to give you a couple studies that have been done on oregano essential oil, but it's been found, a 2014 study found that it had a powerful antiviral property against non-enveloped marine nanovirus. In some cases, inactivating this virus within an hour of exposure, so showing very powerful effects in that. And it's also been seen or shown to be active against different antivirus resistant strains of different viruses. So it's known as a natural antibiotic in nature. And part of it is because of some of the key compounds that are found in there. And you'll find some similar compounds like thymol, which is also in thyme essential oil as well, are kind of common both together in that. And then we'll just jump into the uses that you can use for this oil. But first we have, like I just mentioned, it's a natural antibiotic. And so it's powerful enough to kill different types of bad bacteria. And this can also include things like E. coli. If there's a imbalance of E. coli that's maybe high, causing infections, which if you've ever had a UTI infection, E. coli sometimes can be high in a test result and showing that there's a UTI infection. So it can fight bacterial overgrowth that colonize like in your large intestine, which is not where you want it when you're good bacteria there. And it also will help the body from some toxicities as well. So this is something new that I learned, but it can also help when someone is going through toxins from mold or other things like of that nature. But the ways that you can use this, so you can do it a few different ways. You can diffuse it always, especially if you don't like putting things on your skin directly. You can always diffuse it in the air. Make sure it's in an open area. If you have pets or children, make sure it's in a very large open area, so if they need to get away from the smell, they can effectively. But you'd want to dilute the essential oil with the carrier oil, so that could be jojoba oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, whatever you'd like to use. And you can actually apply it to the soles of your feet, especially if you are dealing with some type of bacterial infection. Or you can, like I mentioned earlier, you can take it internally if you have the right type of essential oil that is meant for internal use. And again, you do that 10 days on, 1 week off type of cycle. The next thing, a lot of these kind of go hand in hand together, but can help fight staph infections as well, or MRSA. And what you can do is take this internally, again with the right type for internal use, and you can add 3 drops of the oregano essential oil into like a capsule. So you can buy these gelatin capsules from natural food store. You can get them online just about anywhere. They're clear, they're made out of gelatin. You take them apart, you can put your oils in there. You can put a little bit of carrot oil in there as well. And you can take it with a drink or some food, and you can do 2 to 4, do that a couple times a day for up to 10 days for that. Another thing it helps with is candida or fungal imbalances. So it can be used to fight, overgrowths of yeast that someone might have in their gut. It's very, very wonderful for that. Another thing to keep in mind with yeast is when you are treating something like that and trying to get rid of yeast, you do not want to be eating a bunch of sugar. So you want to make sure you are avoiding sugar, so you're not trying to feed the yeast as you're killing it at the same time. We want to starve that yeast out. But again, this would be for internal use, so you could take 2 to 4 drops twice daily for up to 10 days, and again, kind of do that 10 days on, 1 week off, 10 days on, 1 week off. And then it also can help respiratory health as well. It can help with things like pneumonia, if you got like bronchitis, other types of other bacterial infections there. It can just help with like mucus and stuff too, and help getting that junk out of there. And so you can actually apply this one on the skin in that chest area. I recommend you can even make your own salve with it, or you could take some coconut oil and just put the oregano mixed with it. It is gonna smell strong, but you can put that directly on your chest for that. And then I'd also recommend diffusing the oil as well wherever you are, and then you can ingest it as well. And then the next one is it can help with parasites. So helping get rid of that, it's not just antiviral oil, but it's also antiparasitic, so it can be used internally to combat these infections. So again, you would take that oil internally for that. And a couple other last things with it, it also will help with warts. Now, warts are usually viral, and so like this oil is naturally, it's antiviral, so it's gonna help with removing warts. So this is something you can make a mix to dilute it a little bit, and then apply it on that area where that wart is, several times a day until it kind of starts to diminish or wear off. You can put it under a Band-Aid as well. And then the last one is something that I won't talk too much in depth about, but it actually can help at cleaning up small areas of mold. Now I'm not talking about like black mold or anything like that. I'm just talking about like normal mold growth, or if you've like had mold growth in a container of food, or maybe your compost bucket or something like that. You can make a concoction, with some soapy water, some tea tree, and lemon essential oil, and then add some oregano essential oil in there as well to kind of like help kill that. So you can make a homemade cleaning solution with that if you want, but I would not recommend doing that all over your house if you actually had a larger issue with that. But this is something that you can do in small applications like that to help with. So that's kind of a little bit about oregano. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something, and stay tuned for our next video.